What's up, everybody, and welcome back to episode number 2 of the podcast formerly known as Frag Studios TV. I will be your host, Kweezy G, and here with me today we have Remedy.
Yo, what up?
Not much, man. How's it been going?
That's alright.
It's alright?
Yeah.
Planning on going to Google HQ anytime soon?
Probably this week coming up. Hopefully, we'll see.
Get that AdSense re-enabled, hopefully.
Yeah, road trip, yeah.
Yeah, man. Boogster, how's it going?
What's up? Nothing much. Just been enjoying my spring break.
Oh yeah, it's your spring break this week. Been playing more of that Ninja Gaiden 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Been hearing it got some pretty bad reviews, but you say it's not that bad.
Not as bad as people say.
Not as bad as people say. Still fun slicing people into like a million bits.
Yeah.
Man, I'll still probably check that out. Hopefully there's a demo that comes out pretty soon. But other than that, it's a pretty interesting title. Hopefully it's better than Operation Raccoon City, though. That game was terrible. So awful. Other than that, Dilweed, how's it going?
Not much. I'm good.
Still playing Battlefield 3?
Yes.
Play that pretty much every day?
Almost. Right now I'm just waiting for my beta invite.
Oh, for the World of Warcraft?
Yep.
Yeah, man. We'll be getting to that later on in the podcast, but for our first story today, we will be talking about the PlayStation Vita and how it's not doing so well everywhere, but particularly in Japan. Apparently the old PSP is outselling the Vita. The Vita sold 10,021 units in a week compared to 18,633 of the PSP. Now, that's pretty damn terrible. Boogster, you have anything to say about that?
The only way not only way, but the reason I see more of the PSP outselling is because I'm guessing the price levels dropped. I mean, that'd be my only guess. I don't know. But, I mean, things go down, the price drops, there's already games out for it. I mean, a nice little present you can buy or whatever, you know. But that's just my guess of why it's outselling it.
Yeah. I believe the PSP is somewhere around like $100 to $150 right now. And, yeah, that's a fairly decent price. And there already has like a huge catalog of pretty great games on the PSP, including those God of War and all such like that. But another interesting fact about this whole article right now is the 3DS is also selling an incredible amount of units with 64,017 units of that very same week. So neither of them are doing really good in retrospect.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, no, I had a question. Is the PS Vita, so PSP games can be played on the Vita, it's not backwards compatible?
No, it's not backwards compatible. The Vita has their own like little chip thing. UMDs were pretty much an all-around fail. They were terrible in terms of like storing games, because they would some people would like drop them and then they just break, and they were pretty flimsy little things, I have to say. But it's worth noting, though, I think this is just sort of how a console or portable console gets introduced in general, because we saw this with the PS3. People were still buying PS2s way more than they were PS3s when the PS3 first came out, because like Boogster said earlier, there's like not a lot of games coming out. Like, how many people could name a launch title for the PS3 that actually looked interesting?
Uncharted. Oh, for PS3?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got me.
Exactly. The only one that I was actually remotely interested in was the first Resistance game.
Yeah.
And that was basically the big title they were pushing back then, and it was good, but it really wasn't showcasing the PS3. So that's pretty much my opinion on why the Vita's not selling very well. I mean, they have Uncharted, but not everyone's gonna like having Uncharted. There's lots of people who like, you know, the fighting games and all that. But when I think that when the good categories of games or more quality games come out, there will be a surge in the Vita sales because it's still fairly well priced. I mean, $250 is a pretty good price for that piece of technology.
What are they opening it with now? They have like Mod Racers and stuff coming out for it right now, don't they?
Modnation Racers. Yeah, Modnation Racers is already out, but they kind of, in my opinion, they kind of failed on that. It doesn't have any online multiplayer in that game. So the only online multiplayer racing game, I think, is Wipeout 2048, which is already out, but they have a decent amount of games, don't get me wrong. They have Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I think Street Fighter Cross Tekken has been announced, but is coming out in the fall of this year. So they have good games coming, like there's Assassin's Creed for the Vita has been announced, BioShock for the Vita has been announced. So there's a lot of cool games that are coming out, but not really any that are that interesting right now. So Dylan, do you have anything to say about this?
I never really got to play it, but I was like Little Big Planet. Is that coming out for?
Oh yeah, Little Big Planet is apparently coming out in like Q2 or something like that. Maybe from May to like July around.
I imagine that would be pretty fun on the Vita.
Yeah,
It's like kind of a mini game type thing you can play anywhere.
Yeah. Apparently they're making really good use of the touch controls on the Vita with the Little Big Planet game. So there's a lot of good titles coming up soon, just once again, not now. And I think that's mainly what explains the poor sales overall of the Vita right now. But moving on from the PlayStation Vita, we have more news on Mass Effect 3 and how the co-founder of BioWare has confirmed that new content is on the way to provide additional closure to the ending of Mass Effect 3. Now, lots of people were very unhappy and very vocal about the ending of Mass Effect 3. Once again, saying from last week, the petitions were signed and they raised over $75,000 to make BioWare change the ending of Mass Effect 3. And now they've confirmed that this will provide additional closure, which is what the fans want. How do you guys think it's all going to pan out? Do you think the fans are going to like this new ending or what?
I think that they should start a petition to have me write the ending and raise $75,000 and give it to me, and I'll write a new ending.
So Remedy writes the ending for a small fee of $75,000.
Never played the game, but he'll write it.
Maybe
Dude,
that's what the series needs. Fresh perspective.
That's right.
Yep.
Just like make a completely ridiculous ending that has nothing to do with it whatsoever.
Yeah, they'll be more pissed.
And raise more money to make them change the ending. Another big problem with some people have is they say it should have been provided in the retail game. So do you think this closure should have been provided in the retail game?
Of course. I mean, that's what you expect from a game, really. Not to have
But
the more ending in a DLC.
yeah, I kind of agree. I think this whole DLC to provide more closure or more ending for the game is kind of BS. They really should have put the whole ending in the game, but this might have not have been BioWare's fault. It could have just been EA being greedy once again, trying to get as much money as they possibly could out of what they knew was going to be a huge release and that so many people would buy.
Well, do you really think that EA would think, oh, they'd be unsatisfied with the ending and they want some more and then we'd just give it to them DLC? You think they already had that in their mind?
I think to an extent.
I mean, EA does seem to be a bunch of greedy bastards, but, I mean, I don't know.
And then money changes people.
Yeah.
And EA wants a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it happening, but I guess we'll never know pretty much unless you work for EA. But
I think EA was kind of banking on people wanting more closure or wanting to play as Shepard or his crew a few more times before the end of the game. But other than that, I didn't think they'd get I didn't think that they thought they would get such a vocal response on it. Dylan, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I don't know if it was just they didn't have enough time to do it, but when in history, like when EA sets a date for a game, they don't go back on it. It will get released on that date no matter what.
Yeah, that's usually what happens with most games. I was recently looking at a bunch of videos. This isn't really related with EA, but it's related to that games being released on a certain date in general. Like David Jaffe, the producer for the new Twisted Metal on the PS3, said that Sony just gave them a date of February, whenever it was, 22nd or something along there, and that's when they released it no matter what. And because of that, it was kind of, their released product was really buggy and had some problems with it, but they still had to release it at that same date because that's what Sony had planned to make money on in that period. So yeah, it's kind of interesting that lots of companies sacrifice the game's polish and like a finished product just so that they can release it at a certain time to make as much money during that fiscal period. And I think that's a big problem in gaming, and I think that's where companies like Blizzard are doing a really good job with, because they say they'll release it when it's finished, and when it's finished, it's one of the most polished experiences of any game you've ever played.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a big offender of getting the game before they do it by the release date, and now when it's finished, it's Call of Duty, of course. It's a yearly thing, but I honestly think, if you took more time until it's finished, it could be a much, much better game. And that's just not only Call of Duty, but there's a lot of games that could be like that as well.
Yeah, especially with Call of Duty, I think there's a lot of stuff that needs to be changed because this formula is getting really stale.
Yep.
So what I think personally is they should take more time to sort of reinvent their whole formula, because they've been doing that formula for so long. And I think they should really, for once, get a public beta out to see people's reaction to what it is. Alright, so moving on from that topic, we are moving on to a fairly well-known series, at least on TV, that's making its move into video games, and that is The Walking Dead. And now Telltale Games has now released their debut trailer for The Walking Dead, and it shows a very gloomy and very desperate situation for many of the survivors in the trailer. And it's a really hopeless atmosphere, and it's a lot of dark color palettes. And to me, it shows a very similar art style to Back to the Future, with a little more cel-shaded look to it. And I would just like to know all your guys' opinions on the trailer and what you guys thought of it.
Can I say it?
Sure.
Yeah, boy! Dude, I'm freaking stoked, man. It looks sick as shit. Back to the Future, the game that I played on PS3. I played the first episode on PC as well. It looked the same, played the same. I like the cel-shaded graphics, and it looks like they even stepped it up with Walking Dead. You can tell that the graphics, they polished them up a lot more. They look really nice.
So my question with this is it going to be like an arcade PSN store game, or is it a disc-based game?
Well, to my knowledge, it's going to be released episodically.
Yeah.
Sort of like The Walking Dead, the show in general.
No.
And Back to the Future was also released in episodes too.
Oh, okay.
So a PSN game, XBLA game.
So that seems pretty cool. It seems yeah, I don't know. It just seems like it'd be pretty cool from the trailer. Like you said, a lot of darkness, and I think it'll turn out pretty good. So we just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I noticed it didn't have the characters from Walking Dead, which could be interesting for the storyline, but it could also help the storyline so it doesn't ruin the TV show or anything.
Yeah, they actually, I was watching a little clip on it, a little information on that game, and it is going to, like, the timeline of where it lies in between the comic books and in between the TV show. It's somewhere in between the comic book and when Rick from the Walking Dead TV shows actually wakes up. So that's where it's set at, and it's a totally different group of people. I think I heard mentioned they might bump in. I think they bump into Glenn, is what I heard. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it, like conflict with the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit of crossover, not too much.
Yeah. I'd like to
I don't
see
know.
that in the TV show too. I mean, that's a little off topic in a way, but I like to see the TV show go into some of the comic book stuff. Ugh, can't even talk.
Oh no, yeah, the definitely the premise is really cool. I'm not a big fan of like the whole cell shady thing in this game per se, because I think the atmosphere doesn't really the cell shaded look doesn't really reflect the atmosphere that they're trying to go for. But I'll still play it. It looks interesting enough that it's worth a look for anybody, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Walking Dead is like, that's where it's at right now. So, I mean, everybody that loves Walking Dead should be playing it. The only thing is, if you're not a point and click kind of gamer, if you can't deal with that kind of game, I wouldn't suggest trying this game. It looks like it's going to be dead on to Back to the Future, as far as what we've seen so far. Anyways, it could change.
Is it really? I don't think Walking Dead would actually fit that well in terms of a whole point and click kind of adventure thing.
Well,
I think it should benefit from a little more action elements to it.
yeah, I think it'll have a little more action, obviously, than Back to the Future did. But I think it's going to be along that basis where you're going to be solving puzzles and whatnot. You know, trying to escape rooms or whatever.
Yeah, that would make sense in the whole atmosphere and the whole fiction.
I mean,
Makes sense.
and then you have to think that they did make Jurassic Park and they made Back to the Future. So I mean, that's kind of what their expertise. That's where it is. So I mean, you kind of expect that.
Yeah, they'll probably stick to their guns for the most part, but maybe change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Moving on from those kind of zombies into a different series with zombies in them, and that is Resin Evil. Producer of the Resident Evil series, Masachika Kawada. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Say it again.
He says Masachika Kawada.
You said it right.
I think that's okay.
Probably.
He says that the series continuously moves away from its roots of survival horror in order to stay competitive with the market, and that the series has been greatly influenced by the global market pressures and other really heavily action influenced games like Call of Duty and the latest first-person shooters, latest AAA games on the market today, and that the future games in the Resident Evil franchise will be an extension of what RE4 created and further on later in the franchise what RE5 did. And he says that's the main reason why the 3DS game Revelations, or Resident Evil Revelations, was why it was, is because they wanted to just keep with the same formula of Resident Evil 4 and 5 and just keep building on it from there instead of reverting back to their old style of survival horror game.
I thought that was I think it's a mistake for them to jump more into the action thing. I think when we were discussing it earlier, I mean, that's kind of the basis of Resident Evil. That's the type of game that it is. And you're trying to take their bread and butter and like make it like the next Call of Duty or something like that. It's like, that's not what that game is. That's not why gamers were playing that game originally. On top of that, this is kind of off topic of Resident Evil, but I mean, there's all types of gamers, not just first person shooter gamers. That's not the only type of gamer. That's your average gamer that doesn't really play too much. They play Call of Duty all day or whatever, you know, but I mean, there's a lot of us out there that play different games and like other games, different styles of games, you know. So I think it's a mistake on their part, like, to change that, especially when they do have a fan base and they want to change the formula. I mean, not to say it's not going to be a good game, but because, I mean, it probably will be a good game, but I mean, to just outright changes, I don't know.
Like, they want to change the formula and whatnot, and I agree with Remedy. I think they should keep it the same, but, you know, even if they do change it, I think, you know, you can make a great game if you make it more fast action, like they say, towards the Call of Duty. But, you know, based off what I've seen from Raccoon City, that's not happening. And, you know, hopefully that with Resident Evil 6, that they're able to create a nice formula for the game and hopefully it is a great game.
Yeah. They're not really creating like a whole new formula, right? They're still using the Resident Evil 4 type style with the close camera and the third-person action kind of thing. So they're not really changing that much. Raccoon City on its own was just like its own thing. It's just they gave the license to some Vancouver developer who makes shitty games, and they're just like, here, let's see if you can make this good. And they're like, okay, we'll try, and then they failed. So, Resident Evil, like, I'm kind of afraid that they're going to bring some stuff from Resident Evil 5 over to Resident Evil 6, like the inventory system, which was... Have any of you played Resident Evil 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like the inventory system in the game? With the whole 9 slots thing for everything?
I mean, I didn't really think too much of it. I just kind of played with what I had kind of thing. I didn't really complain too much, although sometimes, you know, I had to sacrifice some things because my inventory slots are full, but
Yeah.
then again, with it, it's a little bit more realistic because, you know, how much can a guy hold, you know?
I don't know. The attaché case, if you played Resident Evil 4, I thought was a lot better for the inventory because they are actually like as big as they looked, pretty much. Because in Resident Evil 5, 9 herbs could take up a whole slot, or 9 guns. So it's like 9 herbs takes the place of 9 guns. It's like, what? That makes no sense.
Yeah, that's true.
And especially if you had an AI partner who you gave like all the herbs to, she'd like spray you all the time with herbs, and it was such a like flawed system for me that I really think they shouldn't use that. I would really be happy with something more along the lines of the attaché case, because then the items would actually like represent the real size. But no, that's just me. Some ways when they're evolving, they just don't really work for me.
Yeah.
And going back to the action in games, like when I think of Resident Evil 4 and games like Half-Life and Half-Life 2, like some of the greatest shooters of all time, they weren't focused on action. They were focused on the experience and just advancing the storyline. Like in the beginning, there's no like tutorial or anything. It brings you into the game slowly. You learn how to play it by playing the game, and
Yeah.
there's not as much action, but the game is great because of it.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I want to mention on is when a series sort of evolves into more actiony. Like, I'm gonna mention Silent Hill here, because Silent Hill just kept getting more and more actiony, and all the fans are like, "What are you doing? We don't want this action stuff. We want it back to like the old way of classic survival horror." And in that way, I think when games evolve, they sort of evolve in a bad way, and they're not really responding to what the fans want and what everyone else wants. But I don't think Resident Evil should go that far. I think 4 was probably the best of the franchise, but I don't think they should make such a drastic change from what 4 is, because I still think it should have that essence of tension and anxiety that 4 had that really made it so special.
Yeah.
Hey, are we gonna touch Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City?
Do you guys want to talk about that?
I want to touch it.
Sure, go ahead.
Played it for like 15 minutes, and I was like, alright, this game is trash. That's it.
It was one of the worst experiences gaming I've had this year, for sure. The AI is absolutely terrible, especially your teammates, who can sometimes run into walls for 30 seconds straight and not even know it. And everything else, like, some of the difficulties on the end, they just spike incredibly, and I died so many times for no reason. And other than that, the game's just not really worth talking about, because it's just a waste of breath saying how bad it is. I mean, the developer really just dropped the ball on that. It was such a cool concept, and I thought, oh, this game might turn out to be pretty good. And it's like, you thought this game was good? Yeah, we're gonna mess it up for you and still make you feel like you wasted your $60. So yeah, I feel like that game is overall just one big troll. Except for the multiplayer. Multiplayer's kind of fun, especially since I got 50 kills and no deaths. All these people online with headsets are like, "How are you so good, man? Have you been playing this like before the game was released?" I'm like, "No, this is my first game." Apparently, I was really good though.
To touch on the AI was pretty bad. So they wouldn't help you. They go behind cover with you and whatnot and shoot enemies, but they wouldn't kill anybody. I mean, half the time I had to go back trying to revive them, or whether if it's shooting them because they turn into a zombie. It's just mainly their best job they can do is pick up health sprays and come spray me when I need health. That was their best thing. But
I'll spray you with health.
But other than that, the AI wasn't too great. And then professional mode, the hardest part for story mode, I thought it was somewhat ridiculous. You needed to unload so many bullets just into one person for them to die. I thought that was pretty ridiculous, but that's just me. And other than that, I just didn't really enjoy the game too much.
Yeah. Overall, it's just not fun to play. Yeah, there's a lot of problems. The cover system, bad. I've found some times where like my teammates got stuck in the ground and they couldn't get up.
Yeah.
And sometimes like there's some problems recognizing that dead person right there is a teammate and it won't let you revive them. And if you're playing with AI and you die, they can't revive you, so you restart.
Yeah.
From the last checkpoint. So. Yeah, that game's just really bad. I'll probably play more of it, though, next week. Just to play more of the multiplayer, since I haven't played everything. Alright, so moving away from the whole Resin Evil now. Now we'll talk about the Mists of Pandaria beta that's now live. Became live yesterday on March the 22nd. I shouldn't say yesterday. Became live on March the 22nd. And the high-level content and the template characters will be available in future beta updates, but right now it's just the whole main starting experience, let you experience the new talent system that the guys at Blizzard have created. And right now, all you can do is pretty much experiment with that, roam around Pandaria, and copy your own high-level characters into the game. And right now, the beta is currently open to annual pass holders and opt-in beta testers. And right now, this is making me think that Mists of Pandaria is definitely going to be the other Blizzard product that Activision said Blizzard would release this year. Since Heart of the Swarm, the StarCraft expansion, hasn't had any beta announcement or any beta anything yet, so I think Mists of Pandaria is going to be coming out at the end of the year, in the fall.
But I'm definitely excited to get in there. It's going to be... I'm just checking my Battle.net account every single day. But, I mean, right now they only have the Monk starting zone. Yeah. And I've been watching live streams of people playing, and the Monk looks really fun. I'll definitely try it out and see how it works. And people exploring the new Pandaria, which is the new continent. It's definitely looking really cool. Like it's got like the Asian culture and architecture in it. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I can see you just like on the web browser, just constantly hitting F5 on your email or something like that. Just like, where's my beta key?
Seriously.
Yeah, it's really cool what they did,
They
though,
said
with all the whole like Asian environment and the panda character. Looks pretty cool. I might have to try it out. But yeah, other than that,
yeah, they said they're release the beta invites periodically, like based on when you signed up for the annual pass and how long you've been playing WoW. So.
Yeah, makes sense. Get the older players the first chance to try out the new stuff.
That's all you got, Dylan?
I mean, I could talk all day about it, but nobody's gonna know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So other than that, in other smaller news stories, not that big of a deal. ZeniMax, the parent company of Bethesda, just pretty much seeking out a trademark for the name Dawnguard. Lots of people just pretty much speculating right now that it's going to be the name of a new DLC for Skyrim. Nothing else is known about that, just purely speculation. But in other Skyrim news, the new patch for Skyrim that has already been released on the PC will be released on the PS3 and Xbox 360 this week, with new cinematic moves for magic, bows, fists, etc. Right, Boogster?
Yeah. I saw an article. I forgot. I think it was either IGN that had an article or interview with Bethesda, and they were talking about a new cinematic moves in the patch, and I don't know. It just seems really cool. I know some people are complaining because they thought that should have been in the retail version of the game, but. But what can you do? I just think they look cool, and you can actually check some of the moves out. I know XPlay has a video, but then you can check that out too.
I mean, I played a fair amount of Skyrim. I got to like level 30 or something like that, and I had a lot of fun with the game. I didn't think it really needed any more cinematic moves, so all those people that complain that it should have been in the original game can just suck it. It doesn't mean anything. You're getting it for free anyways, so you can just shut up and just play the game. If they're really that cool, you shouldn't really complain that much about it.
Yeah.
And in other news, apparently there's a new Battlefield patch coming out March 27th, and Dylan, you got some information about that.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of well-needed fixes, like, even from, like, the beginning of when Battlefield came out. This is, like, huge. Like, if you look at the list, it's gigantic, and, like, a lot of overpowered weapons that are getting nerfed, and just a lot of things that needed to be done to the game.
So it's just going to be an overall better multiplayer experience?
Yeah, a lot better.
So, I haven't played that much Battlefield, but with you speaking about like overpowered weapons right now, was it just pretty much people just using the same kinds of OP weapons every single time, and no one really experimenting with other guns?
I never use those OP weapons, but there's this gun called the USAS-12. It's like a fully automatic shotgun. You can put explosive rounds on it, and you just shoot at people, and they just die. No matter where you shoot, you can shoot like 10 yards away from them, it'll explode on them, and like it'll kill them pretty fast. And it's really sucks to go against.
So they're just like nerfing all those weapons to just make it way more balanced, I guess.
Yeah, they're balancing pretty much every weapon in the game, but yeah.
Yeah, that's good that they're just staying active and constantly tweaking the game with fans' feedback. But other than that, in the last story of this week, we have Grand Theft Auto 5 multiplayer news. The co-founder of Rockstar and co-writer of Grand Theft Auto 5, Dan Houser, revealed that GTA 5 will let players use the same crews that they build in Max Payne 3 multiplayer because of their use of the Social Club integration with both those games. And if you don't know, Social Club is a free online service that Rockstar made for use with their games, giving certain rewards and certain features to each of their games. So L.A. Noire, Grand Theft Auto 4, all of those games have integration with the Social Club, and they each get like certain rewards based on your different accomplishments in Grand Theft Auto 4, L.A. Noire, etc. So I'm glad that they're using it for certain integration or cross-game integration.
I think it's pretty big news, especially I've seen people get pretty serious on the Grand Theft Auto 4 scene on the multiplayer. I've seen people would get groups and whatnot and clans, and they would go and fight other clans in it. So I'm sure that's really good news for them, and seems like it seems more directed towards them. But I'm pretty sure those people will be excited.
Yeah, it'll make it a lot less of a hassle for people that have played Max Payne 3 to just reestablish their whole crew from that game and just really streamline the process of getting it going in GTA 5.
Yeah. Which looks epic, by the way.
Which one, Max Payne 3 or GTA 5?
Both, in my opinion.
I don't know, Max Payne 3 looks really cool. I was a fan of the old games. I haven't seen that much on GTA 5, but wasn't the biggest fan of 4. So, I don't know, I'm kind of skeptical on it.
Hopefully they go back to the feel of San Andreas and Vice City and Grand Theft Auto 3. Though if they go back to that, then yeah.
And other than that, that's pretty much all there is for stories other than the new releases of this week. And these are the new releases from March 26th to April 1st, 2012. And there's not really pretty much any noteworthy releases this week. Besides, personally for me, I'm interested in Silent Hill Book of Memories for the PlayStation Vita being released on the 27th of March. And also on that day, we have Warriors Orochi 3 for the Xbox 360. Warriors Orochi 2 and 1 getting terrible reviews from all game critics, so I'm sure that one will be a pretty good one.
Top seller.
Yeah. Best seller, man.
That's right.
Game of the year right there.
Platinum, get his hits.
Xbox Platinum hits right there, Warriors
Yes.
Orochi 3. And the other games that are coming out that day are Two Worlds 2 for the Xbox Live Marketplace, Closure for the PSN, and Tiger Woods PGA Tour 13 for the PS3 and Xbox 360. So clearly top-tier games right there, all coming out on March 27th. Better get your pre-orders down if you haven't heard about any of those. And on March 29th, the only game that's coming out then is Rayman Origins for the PC. And that are the new releases or mildly noteworthy releases for the week of March 26th, 2012.
What games are everybody playing?
I've been playing Asuras Wrath, and I gotta say I'm liking it quite a bit. Even though for 70% cutscene, the story's been keeping me intrigued, and the art style is phenomenal in it, so I've been having fun with that.
Is it a hard game?
No, not at all. It's more of you just press the button, it tells you, and then in the fighting scenes you do get to fight in, it's really easy. You're just pressing 1 to 2 buttons. And then, yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with Asuras Wrath. I thought it was a really cool experience. Pretty much all the actual fighting of the game, like you said, you just press a couple of buttons, and after you get your gouge filled up, you just burst, and then it goes into another cutscene.
Yeah.
But pretty much it's all just timing cutscene based. Like you either get, if you time the button right, you get excellent, or great, or good, or miss.
So,
But no matter what you do, the action will still happen. So it's just basically a point system.
So it sounds like that game is an achievement horror game then, where you can pick up a lot of achievements really easy.
Yeah, you get achievements. Just there's one I got achievement for punching a boss.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some pretty easy achievements. There are some pretty difficult ones for like getting all these custom gauges, like your health bar and your gauge on the top of the screen can give you, depending on which one you have selected, can give you certain boosts and buffs. So it's pretty interesting. Some of the ones that you can get are pretty hard, but it's definitely an experience that you should play. It's a one of a kind game.
What are you playing?
Me personally, I am playing a lot of Silent Hill right now because Operation Raccoon City is sitting in my corner of shame. Silent Hill HD collection right now, pretty much just going through Silent Hill 2. The atmosphere of that game is incredible. It makes you feel so alone.
Didn't any of us warn you not to get Raccoon City?
Nope.
I feel so bad.
Oh no.
Oops.
I would have bought it anyway. I'm a Resin Evil fanboy, pretty much.
Well, what are you gonna do with that game now, Coaster?
I'll probably play a bit more of the multiplayer. Try to get some trophies on it. Might as well get something enjoyable out of it.
Yeah, that's true. Dylan.
And then sell it online.
Dylan, what are you playing?
Same old shit.
Yeah.
I'm raiding. That's all.
You're raiding? You're back to
I was
WoW
raiding,
again, huh?
Yeah.
Damn. Put some Guild Wars. I actually, since taking a break from Frag, I started playing, I beat God of War Chains of Olympus.
Yep.
Which is in the PSP collection, God of War collections. Origins is what it's called. I'm gonna play God of War, the right order. I can't even talk right now. The chronological order of it. I'm gonna play it. So I beat that. I'm waiting for my God of War 1 and God of War 2, which is God of War Collections. I don't I think it's just called God of War Collections. I don't know.
Yeah.
Waiting for that to come so I can play God of War 1. Meanwhile, I started playing Uncharted 1. I actually beat that, and I'm going through my crushing mode playthrough right now. And freaking for what I think it was 2007 is when that game was made. Like that game could be like someone could tell me that game was released right now, and I would believe them. That game is pretty bad. Like I mean, bad isn't good. I shouldn't say it like that. The game is really good. I really like it. It really reminds me a lot of National Treasure, the movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow. I mean, everybody loves those movies. Most people, I don't know, but yeah. So yeah.
It's still a pretty game. It's really good looking for 2007.
Yeah, you know, I think I'm just gonna jump straight to Uncharted 2 instead of like waiting around for God of War 1 to come by.
Mm-hmm. So just to touch on like the whole two different collections for God of War, that was just really stupid in my opinion. I think they just should have released all 4 games for $60.
Did they
disc.
get released at the same time? Because I got my PS3 like last Christmas, so I mean, I didn't really follow PS3 that much.
No. God of War Collection got released around the same time as God of War 3, I think, or maybe a year or so after.
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure about that. But God of War, the PSP collections or Origins collections or whatever the hell they decided to call it, came out about 6 months to a year later because the PSP game Ghost of Sparta came out, and that's when they decided to release that. So the whole reason for releasing the God of War collection 1 and 2 was just to provide hype for God of War 3, I think. But I think it didn't need that hype, and I think they could have just released all 4 at the same time.
Yeah.
That little jingle means it's time to introduce you to one of our Frag Studios TV team members. Actually, formerly known as Frag Studios TV team members. That guy is Boogster0196, also Boog or Boogster. Got a couple questions for you, and we're going to start off right now. And I wanted to know, how long have you been working with Frag Studios TV?
Let's see. I covered Uncharted 3 last year. So I'd say about November, October-ish, I think. So about 4 or 5 months.
What?
So I think.
Do you want me to correct you?
Sure.
It was right after the Christmas giveaway special.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It feels like it's been a lot longer than it has, but it's only been since then, so that, what, like 3 months?
Oh, I wasn't too off. I didn't say like a year.
Uh-huh. Alright, so I got a couple of questions for you. First off, where are you from?
Arizona.
Arizona?
Or Phoenix, Arizona.
Can you give me an address so we can all stalk you?
No, more.
Okay. The next question is, are you gay?
No.
No? Okay.
Top-notch questions so far.
I just had to ask, right? What type of games do you play?
I'm more of... I used to play a lot of first-person shooters since I was young. I mean, I've been in the gaming scene since I was younger, but you know, I didn't really keep up to what other games there were. So I played a lot of first-person shooters. But as I got older, I got introduced to more genres. Like the most recently newest genre is RPGs. I really didn't play a lot of them, and Skyrim kind of introduced me to that. I know there's not only Skyrim, but that's kind of what introduced me, and I'm finding older games I can go back to and getting more into that genre as well. But I play pretty much anything, so.
What are your favorite games, or game or games? Because a lot of people have more than one favorite game.
That's pretty hard right there.
Yeah.
Crap.
That's my knockout question
so
right
far,
there.
Ooh.
Knockout.
Yeah.
My favorite game ever since a kid until now, I always enjoyed is Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Right there. Mortal Kombat always has a place in my heart.
Any MK or like a specific
Any
one?
MK2 was great.
Yeah.
I like Alliance, and then I like the newest one too. They had some nice stuff. It looks really great. Just any Mortal Kombat though.
Right
It's
on.
pretty badass to me.
Alright, next one is, what is the capital of Iowa?
Is it Boise? I don't know.
Idaho.
Idaho. Wait, what?
Huh?
Repeat the question.
Huh? Okay, if your grandpa popped a boner, would you get on or would you get off?
Oh my god.
Huh?
What's the question?
Where is this gone?
Alright, so
I should have expected this to happen.
so in the gaming world, what are you looking forward to this year?
This year, BioShock Infinite.
Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to that.
For sure. I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is it something sexual? Because I don't want to
No,
know.
I want to know what was your favorite character in Mortal Kombat?
I gotta go with the chosen one, Liu Kang.
No way, man. Scorpion.
No
You're
way.
no longer my friend.
Dude, I will freeze blast you all and kick you in the teeth, and I will make a new fatality because I'm so awesome. You're crazy. Liu Kang's garbage, and so is Scorpion's okay. But Liu Kang's
Scorpion's
garbage.
OG.
Sorry, bud.
Scorpion's OG. What are you talking about?
He's my my backup. If I'm not playing Sub-Zero, he's my backup.
Back up.
Yeah, man.
Yo.
Is it just me, or were all fighting like sequels to fighting games, like the best ones? Mortal Kombat 2, Street Fighter 2, Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
I never
They're all
got
the best
into
ones.
the Marvel one.
No, it's too complicated.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
Let's see. In what ways have you been contributing to Frag Studios?
In what ways?
Yeah.
Moral support. No, just been helping you out. Hopefully, trying to. I've been looking into
Us out.
finding people with the help with the website idea, but
Yeah, we should probably plug that, huh? We need help on a website, damn it. Alright, and I don't have this written down, but I did want to ask you about your channel. Tell us all about your channel and what you're doing on there. And that's actually how I even got involved with you in the first place, is looking at your channel. Actually, you got a hold of us first. You were like one of the first subscribers, like, that was actually knew how to use a keyboard, so we appreciate that.
I was actually I didn't know whether or not I should write it. And I was like, screw it, what the hell. I remember when I first saw your video too. I just started on YouTube. I was pretty new, and then you guys made the video. It was Black Ops on, I forget, it's the one with the opening doors, or I don't know.
Wait, what? That's probably something that Josh and Nick did.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then you guys just went on, and I just kind of went on my channel, and then I was inactive for like these past 2 months or so, but I'm getting more active right now. I got 2 Let's Plays videos up. I actually got about 2 hours worth of recording, and I need to edit some and post it, and then, yeah, I'm just going to keep on going with my channel.
Right on. Yeah, I've noticed the notifications coming up in my email about you posting new videos. I haven't had time to watch them yet, though. But I will.
Yeah, man. Good to see you posting again, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, but it's good to be back.
Uh-huh.
And, I mean, that's pretty much it. Is there anything you want to say?
Frag Studios, bitches. No, I don't know. That's if it's still Frag Studios.
Formerly known as Frag Studios until further notice.
Yeah. You mean formerly Frag Studios, bitches?
Yeah.
Bitches. Yeah, boy. No, but you didn't answer that question.
Which question?
The one about your grandpa.
No.
I told you to repeat it.
Okay, if your grandpa popped a boner, would you get on or would you get off?
I'm not answering that at all.
It's really a proper way to end the podcast.
This is how a 32-year-old ends a podcast.
Alright.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, you can end it. It's all good.
Alright, well, thank you all very much for listening. I'm sure it was quite entertaining. I know I had a pretty awesome time hanging out with these guys. And I would like to thank them all for showing up today, and look forward to another one next week, hopefully on Friday, because we will be recording at a new time. And other than that, thanks for watching, and we will all talk to you guys later.
Yeah, boy!